we're going to start by putting our mesh into here. So I have fluffed this up. So on the swag, the back is flat, okay? Then we can kind of bring everything out like this. All right, so I have kind of fluffed it. I mean, you're not going to see a lot of this, so it doesn't really matter if it's super, super fluffy, but the fluffier it is for me, the easier it is to find the little branches that I'm going to twist the mesh into. So again, this was pink mesh and orange mesh. This is a border stripe metallic mesh. You can get this at Craft Outlet or Deco Exchange. Also, I know they're restocking a lot of things now that they have moved into their new digs. All right, so I'm going to do a cruffle. So I'm going to curl side up, okay? We're going to curl up from the bottom a little bit, curl down from the top a little bit, just because we're trying to hide those ends so that they don't fray. Now we're going to walk it up and we're going to scrunch it up. This is going to make, this is a big fluffy ruffle, right? I want to put that one right up top. So there's a loop up here that we used to hang it. And I got to find two tines that are kind of next to each other. So I'm going to go right here. Okay. And I just twisted it right in there. Okay. And then later on, if you had wanted to add ribbon tails, that's where you would add them in. I'm not going to be doing that on this project. We're just going to focus on bows. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the orange, up from the bottom a little bit and down from the top a little bit, and then ruffle it up. Big fluffy ruffle. I do have more of this that I can cut off to the side. All right, so I'm going to put kind of some down one side and then come back some on the other side. Okay. Here we go. All right, might work actually down from the top. That might be a little bit easier because we put less when we get down toward the bottom because we do want to maintain that teardrop shape. Make it look like it's crying. It's a teardrop. It's crying. Why? Because it's hot out and I don't want to have to go outside and work on the pool later. My pool's going to kill me. That is how I'm going to leave this earth. My pool is trying to kill me. No matter what I do, it is just, I had everything good yesterday. The filter was clean. I was going to get back in. And then I go to switch the lever that lets the water come back in to the filter system. And it snapped off in my hand. So now I have to replace PVC parts. I'm a girl. I don't do this stuff. It's not fair. Michael, where are you? Oh, so frustrating. We'll get it though. My dad's coming to help me. All right. So now I'm going to start over here on this side. Okay. But see, notice I had a pink there and now I'm putting an orange. So we want to kind of alternate that. Now I'm going to go in here and put in a pink. I might end up having to cut some more of this. We'll see. I don't want to cut too much. And then I've got these extra pieces just kind of rolling around. And I'm like, what am I going to do with that? You know? This is giving us a really nice fluffy base. It's going to be fun. It took me a long time to jump on the pink and orange bandwagon because at first I was like, ooh, I don't know. But honestly, it's kind of, it grew on me last year. And now this year, I am all for it. I'm all about it this year. All right. Okay, so this is kind of where we are at so far. Kind of come down to about here. I'm going to continue putting mesh in. At some point, we will just have one column instead of two because we don't want to get, we don't want to make it look like a rectangle. I want to keep that teardrop shape. All right, here comes the pink. I think this one will go pretty quickly because this is a small swag. I'm gonna do like a larger version of this one, but that one's gonna have some gems in there. Kind of make it just overall a bigger buddy. But for today, I wanted to do something small because not everybody wants something super big on their door, right? If you don't have a lot of space or, if it's not in a really secured spot, it's kind of hard to keep it from swinging. That's why you can take one of those suction cups with the hooks or a 3M hook and put it upside down. And then that way you can kind of hook it from the hanging from something and then hook it from the back around that other extra hook that's upside down like that, you know, like a zip tie or something, and that'll keep it from swinging back and forth. We wreath makers have solutions for all of your wreath issues. All right, here we go with another pink. I want to go see the comments. I want to say hi to my peeps. Say hi to everybody. Linda is watching. I got to see Linda last week. She's going to be doing something really fun country with a rooster. Can't wait to see that. So this last weekend, I went to Indianapolis with my daughter. We went to see the Wicked musical because, of course, she's got to get into it once it leaves Chicago, right? But it was worth it. We had such a fun little girls' weekend. It was just overnight, but it was a good time. The driving, though, if I never have to drive on a road trip again, it'll be too soon. I am over that. My husband used to drive. He would be the driver. He loved a good road trip. Give him a road trip and a bag of Doritos, and the man was happy as could be. I really miss having him drive. I mean, I miss him for many, many reasons, but that was one of them. Okay, now we're kind of coming to the bottom here. All right, so I'm going to try to just put singles from here on out, okay? And I want to end on an orange because I think a lot of the ribbons that I'm picking are more pink based. So I want that orange to be able to balance that out. So I'm going to put this one down here. And I have like one left. I'm actually going to I'm going to put it in here, and then I might bend that one up because that's kind of a long one, and I don't necessarily think I need to have something that long hanging out. Giggity. Sorry, if you know me, you know me. A dirty mind is a terrible thing to waste. Here we go. Nice big ruffle ending on an orange. Okay, let me get these extra pieces. I'll toss them behind me as I do. Throw it aimlessly and look at the mess later. Okay, so here is what our swag looks like now. In terms of length, it is 26 inches, and in terms of depth, it is, I'm going to call it like 7 inches. Okay, it's very lightweight, bouncy. Okay, so we have our sign. I'm not going to put it on right now. I'm going to do the bow first, but just to kind of, this is going to kind of go in the middle. I kind of want the sign to be in the middle. So I'm going to do a traditional loopy bow up at the top here. And then I'm going to have some cascades that come down. I'm not going to cascade the Farrisilk. I'm going to cascade probably the boo and some orange sparkle. But then I'm going to put another bow at the bottom. But it's not going to be a wide bow. It's going to be a bow that just has, it's just a loop and a tail, a collection of that, because we want to, again, wider at the top and then coming down to the teardrop shape at the bottom. So like a really tall, skinny triangle, right? So let's bring out our guest stars for today. All right, get the ribbons out. I had a hard time really kind of picking the ribbons because not that I didn't have enough. The problem was I had too many that would go with this. So I was really trying to narrow it down. I have a habit of maybe picking too many patterns. Oh gosh, sorry, you guys just really saw my face there. Sorry about that. But we're gonna go with this Farrisilk here. And then I have an orange glitter. And then we have the boo, okay? And then I think instead of going with the pink glitter, I think I'm going to go with the black because I think there's already going to be a lot of pink and I don't want it to be pink overload. And then I'm going to end with the black and white on top, okay? So that's kind of going to be our little pattern for this. The tricky part is that is a directional ribbon, so we're going to have to pay attention to which way our little boos are facing. And I do have a backup roll, an extra of that, should we need it, okay? So I'm going to put the smaller ones off to the side for now. Okay, so with this one, I'm not going to cut it. We want to kind of see the back. So I am going to fold it, okay? And it's about a 1-inch fold when it's all said and done, okay? Oh my gosh, I cutting Farrisilk ribbon gives me anxiety because I don't want to cut it because the whole thing is gorgeous and it makes me sad the thought of cutting it. All right, so I'm gonna have a tail that comes up and a tail that comes down. So the tail that comes up is gonna be like this, and then I think our width on our bow is gonna be like, I'm gonna do a 7-inch loop on either side for the bow. Okay, so I'm putting this in. So on this side over here, make sure you guys can see. Once it's folded, it's hitting 9 inches. So if I cut it at, if I cut it at like 11 and then fold it over twice, it's going to hit right at 9, okay? Now, normally if it was a ribbon, I could pinch and twist it while it was in the ribbon holder, but this is so thick because it's got the backing on there that I have to twist it here in my hand before I put it in, okay? So I've done that. So now, oh boy, I'm gonna bring it over. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to go behind me so that you guys can see. Let me angle it a little bit, make it easier. Okay. And then we said we were going to do 7-inch loops. Okay, so that is 7 right there. I'm going to pinch and twist this way. So I put my 7 in there. Some people can do this by hand, and for Farrisilk, for really thick ribbons, if you ever watched Emily Waldo do it, she does a fantastic job. My hands cannot do that. I cannot grip. I will lose the grip, and then my hands cramp, and then I cry. So I have to use a bow making tool. I almost kind of want to see if that's, let's bring it over. Let's kind of take a look. I want to go a little bit bigger, only because it does have a lot of loop that stands up. So I'm going to go a little bit bigger on this. Just about like an inch more. I'm going to go at an 8-inch. So it is an 8-inch loop. Okay. Bring it in there. Bringing this over this way. I've got it twisted. Now I'm going to make an 8-inch loop, and I'm not squishing it down. I'm just kind of following the natural fold here. Okay. And remember, I said I was going to cut it off at 11. Oh, my first cut. Oh, it's going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. Oh, no. All right. I'm going to bend it once, bend it twice. If it starts unbending on you, what you can do is add just a tiny little dab of glue to kind of keep it there so that it doesn't unbend. But with the Farrisilk, I don't think you're going to have to do that because this is quality ribbon, baby. Quality. This is like I think this is like over $50. But it's sparing. You can make it go a long way. Don't be intimidated by it. Okay. And then I'm going to make an X shape out of it. So that is what we have. We have an X shape, just like that. Okay. Move you guys a little bit. Well, I guess it's all right. All right. Our next layer is going to be this beautiful orange. And I wanted a solid, okay, because we've got stripes. We've got a little busy print here. The other ones, you know, there's a little stripey in there. I just wanted something solid. This is a supporting ribbon. This isn't really like the main event, but it's going to showcase the other ribbons very nicely. Okay, so if that was like a 9-inch tail, I'll probably do this one at like 8-inch, okay? And then I can pinch and twist here very easily on the other side because this is not as thick. Now this is a glitter shine ribbon. This came from Craft Outlet and it's RGE 199520. And the Farrisilk I got from Amy at Babam Reeds. She does such beautiful, beautiful designs with that. Okay, so that was an 8-inch loop. Here I'm going to make a 7-inch loop. Okay, I'm coming in an inch from each layer, pinched and twisted. That's the back side. I'm going to make another 7-inch loop. Now I probably will add in some cascades, but they're not going to be coming out from the bow. I'm going to add them kind of like behind it, and it'll kind of look like it kind of blends with the bow, but otherwise I have to leave some of these tails long, and I don't want to have to do that. Okay. All right, there we go. Now, wind this up, put this away. We are going to be using this for some extra cascades and stuff coming down the sides. But now it's time for our boo. Okay, so this is where we have to keep a little more attention, just a little bit. Got to do just a little trick. So I'm going to start by dovetailing it. Okay, I put the ends together, cut it. Here we go. Now, I can't start from the bottom because otherwise my boos are going to say oob. We want them to say boo. All right, so I have to start up at the top. So my last tail was over here. This time I have to start over here. So I'm going to start to the left and go down to the right. Okay, and it's going to be shorter than that one. Okay, so I'm just going to pinch and twist it right here. There we go. This is going to be a 6-inch loop because I'm coming in. Well, yeah. Okay, I'm going to make 6.5. I lied. 6.5. I'm making 6.5. Pinch and twist. Coming over this way. Here we go. Going back over this way. I'm going to have a 6.5. Oops, 6.5. Okay. And then bring it out, and I'm going to cut just past there. Okay, so if I got a 6.5-inch loop, I want to have a 7.5-inch tail. I like my tails to be an inch longer than the loop. Okay. Now, remember what I said about it being directional, okay? So that one was good. That one was good. That one comes up this way, but this one up here, okay, so we've got boo, but our ghosts are kind of flying. Well, actually, you know what? I think they've done it where they're actually upside down. Some of them are upside down, so it is not actually fully directional. So we're good. We're good. I can leave it as it is. Yay! Yay! Okay, but I want to show you something with the bow. As I've been adding on the layers, where I'm directing these loops to go, it's going kind of like in the void spaces, right? So the orange went in the void space between here and here. And now this is kind of coming here and going there, but I still don't want it to be exactly over. I want it to be slightly over, so we're not totally covering that. That's why I like to use a bow maker, because it gives me a lot more control when I'm making the bow of where my loops are going to show up. Now it's time to go on to 1.5 inch. So I'm going to use this one. I've used this ribbon multiple times. I got that. You can get this a lot of places. Craft Outlet is one, RG0169402. It's 1.5 inches black with orange glitter stripe. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's a classic. It'll never go out of style. I like all my Ed Hardy shirts and purses of the early aughts. Okay, here we go. Putting this in here. So this tail is at 6.5 inch. Okay, and then this loop is going to be 5.5 inch. Okay. All right, we're coming out 6.5 inches. Here we go. All right, went the wrong way there. There we go. Okay, so I got tail down, loop up on the left, and loop up, tail down on the right. All right, now we are going to go in and add in that pink glitter. Why? Because I love pink and I love glitter, and because I said so. I'm adding it. I like this pink too, because if you can imagine Candyland Christmas with all like the light pastels and the pinks. So this is going to be for Christmas too. This is for Easter, birthday. This is gorgeous. It's got like a pearlescent shine to it. I love it. Okay. So that's going to be like a 6-inch tail. Come in a little bit. So this one, I'm going to make this one, she's at 5 inches. So I got a 6-inch tail and a 5-inch loop. Okay. Here we go. Getting this. Our bottom bow will go quicker because it's just going to be simple loops and tails. But I'm going to actually put this on and get the sign on before I end up making that other bow. So I think. And maybe not. All right. Our last layer is going to be this gorgeous, beautiful. It is 7/8 inch white with a 5/8 inch. I'm sorry, with black glitter vines. It's RGF 1394X6. I also have this in a 1.5 inch. I also have this in a 2.5 inch. It's hot pink. This is a really, really nice ribbon. Okay, now I don't dovetail this. I cut this one on an angle. Or sometimes you could just cut it straight and then fold up the bottom and then make curls and tendrils out of it. I'm not doing that for this one because I don't think it needs it. Not the curlies anyway. So this is having a curl that is 4.5 inches on the loop. That's what this is, 4.5 inches on the ribbon. Pardon me. And then that was 5.5 inches on the tail. Angled. Okay. Now that we have this on here, I am going to go grab a black zip tie. I'm actually going to grab one of my super duper, well, I guess maybe not the super duper heavier one. There we go. And I'm also going to go grab a black pipe cleaner because that is how I attach things. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use, I forgot. I bought pink. I bought pink ones. Yay! I think I found these at Hobby Lobby. Here we go. And I know people get all political about Hobby Lobby. I don't like their stance on, you know, not providing birth control to their employees, et cetera, et cetera. But I do shop there because if we stop shopping there, they're going to go out of business and people will lose their jobs. And at this point in this economy, the whole point is for people to keep their jobs. Okay. So it's a touchy issue and there's no right or wrong answer to it, but I do still choose to shop there, and that is why. However, I have really cut down on my shopping at Target. Really, really, really cut down. We used to have a Walmart right next to it. We don't anymore. So sometimes my options are a little limited. All right, here we go. But tell you what, I've been saving a lot of money, not casually browsing stuff at Target. I didn't realize how much I was spending. It was crazy. Here we go. All right, so now on the back, I have this chenille stem is in here. Okay. And then I'm going to hold on to that. We're going to play with our layers here. So I'm going to bring everything down. All of our loops and tails should move independently of another, right? So they got their own wiggle, right? It's not stuck to anything else. And I'm going to show you in a second how I'm going to deal with that middle. Okay. You can still see the zip tie. If you pinch it right in the middle, pinch it in the middle, okay, and then kind of fluff those out, you don't see it anymore. Now you're good. On the tails, run your hands down both sides of the wire, working the wire, okay, and that's going to give you that nice, pretty arch. Okay, so here's our bow. It's kind of large, yes, but that's going to be at the very, very top of our swag. So I want to put the bow and the sign on, and then we're going to come back. We will be using, oops, sorry. we're going to be using the bow maker again, so it's not going too far. All right, so I'm basically just going to take the chenille stem on the back and I'm just going to put it on here. I'm going to try to wrap it around the stem or the center spine of the swag. Okay, so sometimes I like to kind of maybe make a little spot for my hands to go first. So I'm just going to wrap it around the left and then around the right. I don't really need to see the stuff like at the top here, so it's okay if it's up higher. Okay. Let me see if I like the placement first. Yeah, I'm good with it. Okay, so all I'm going to do then is on the back here, I'm just going to take my pipe cleaners and I'm just going to twist them together real tight, nice and tight. Just keep twisting, twisting. I'm going to twist this whole thing. Okay, and then I just have to push it, just push it kind of back in here, wrap it right in there. Okay, you don't want to cut it off because what if you end up wanting to move it later, right? Then you have to replace the pipe cleaner. We don't want to do that. Okay, so here's what this looks like right now. All right, make sure you guys get good view. That's what it looks like right now. I will fix the bow when we're all kind of done with everything, but now I want to put on the sign. Now fortunately the sign comes already with some holes in here, so what I want to do is figure out, sometimes I will use a pipe cleaner, but sometimes I will use wire, but it all kind of depends where the hole is and like what border color it is. So you see you've got a black border, so if I put a pipe cleaner through, go like this, that's not too bad. It kind of blends. So I think that's what I'm going to do, because if I put in green floral wire or silver, it's really going to kind of stand out, and I don't really want to do that. Okay, but I give it a nice good twist, nice good twist, and then we're going to do like what we did before, right? So we got our bow. Okay, make sure our bow is centered in here, centered on the spine. We're good. Now try to figure out where we want to go. Now I got to make sure if I put it right there, these tails are going to be covering the spooky ghost. So I don't want to do that. I want to come down a little bit. So I'm going to kind of put him here. Now I could put him on an angle or I could put him straight. I think I kind of want to put him on a bit of an, no, I think I want him to be straight on this one. I want him to be straight. I mean, I can't make him straight. That's just the way he's born. But you know, there we go. Sorry, bad joke. Hey, it is the end of Pride Month, and we do support Pride. And we support people living their authentic selves and living their best lives. Love is love is love. Just conversely, remember, if you don't agree with that, then that means hate is hate is hate. And you should look at yourself in the mirror and wonder why you are like that. Yeah. If you don't support other people being happy, there's something wrong inside yourself. And don't get me started on the Bible stuff. No. Nope. I'm just all about happiness. I'm also worried about my ex-husband right now. He's in the hospital, and his health has taken a turn a little bit. So sorry, I'm a little distracted going off topic. But my ex is a member of the LGBTQ community, and I want him to know he is supported and loved. All right. Put that in there. Okay. And I literally, like I just did with the bow, you can see up here, I'm just twisting it right around the swag. And the good thing is later on, if I'm working on this and it starts to get a little loose, I can just come back here, pull this up and twist it a little further, and I can retighten everything very, very easily. Okay. Okay. So now this is what we have so far. I'm gonna have to fix my bow because I squished it. All right, but we're doing good on our bow, right? Our bow is cute, got the tops coming over, looking good. I actually think I might need to tighten the bow a little bit. So hold on just a moment. Yeah, I'm just going to give it a couple extra little twists to tighten it. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to bring this bad baby back and we're going to make another bow. It's going to go faster, okay? And I'm probably maybe going to try to do this in my hand, but it's going to go right here and it's just going to have some loops, just loops, loops, and then tails that come down, okay? So I'm going to move that there. We're going to bring back our easy bows because, again, crappy hands. Can't help it. Here comes our Farrisilk, okay? And it's literally going to be just a loop. Now, I want to see how big of a loop. I don't want it to be too massive, okay? But we're going to have to kind of pinch this thing. It is very, very thick. It's a thick boy. Woo! Or thick girl. I don't know. All right. That'll work. But I do want to have enough behind here that it doesn't actually accidentally fall out on me. Okay, so I'm gonna see how long we're gonna do it. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Okay, so the loop on this right now, I haven't bent it up. The loop is 11 inches, the tail is 11 inches, and the loop is it's a 6-inch loop, I think. So I'm gonna put it in here because I can't hold it anymore. My hands hurt. I was right. It's a 6-inch loop on the dot. Woohoo! All right. Farrisilk is gonna go in the back. I'm gonna put a pin in it. Oh, my precious. My precious. Sorry. I have a ribbon fetish. I can't help it. Okay, now we're going to take the orange that we used the last time. Oh, actually, here, you know what I got to do first? Let me bring this back. I should have pushed you guys back further. I'm sorry. I'm going to take the tail here, and I got to bend it up one, bend it up twice. But I'm only going to do about, that's like a 3/4 inch. Just enough to see the backing on it. Okay. Now I'm just going to dovetail the rest of this. Okay. So all my loops are going to go up here and all my tails are going to go on the right, okay? But I can kind of direct where my loops go. So this one is going to go to the left. So that one's going to be like a 5.5, right? Okay, so that means it's just going to come this way. 5.5. All right, then I'm just going to trim this off. Okay. There we go. You'll never see the trimmed ends either when you're done. Yeah, I'm going to come up a little bit on this tail. There we go. Because it's got to be shorter than the Farrisilk. Okay. All right. I don't actually think I'm going to do any cascades of ribbon down. I think we're going to have enough ribbon on this, but we'll see. I'll put that to the side for now. I'm bringing back my boo. Hey, boo. And yeah, he kind of does do, there's some upside down. See, there's a boo and then there's an oob. So hey, hey. What kind of ride shares do ghosts use? Boober. Ha ha. Sorry, that joke. Oh, that was terrible. I'm so sorry. All right, see, this time I was smart and I just started with the back end first. Now I'm putting it in here. So this is going to be probably also about a 5.5-inch loop. All right, and then my tail's going to come down. Drives me nuts as I start getting to the end of a spool of ribbon, and you'll all notice this, is that when they put it on there and it's still kind of wet a little bit, or whatever it is, it kind of gets wavy and janky, right? So then you got to just do extra stuff. If you have a clothing steamer, or if you have a flat iron for your hair that is clean with no residue, you can use that. Just be very careful to use it on a low setting because it can actually burn like the polyester. Okay, coming back with Black and orange. All right, so this one we're gonna have as a 5-inch loop. And I actually think I'm gonna do 2 of these, okay? Because I want one to kind of come out that way. And I'm gonna have one to kind of come out the other way. And then there's gonna kind of be like some pink in there to kind of break it up in between. All right. This will be fun. So on the ride back, I was thinking it is finally time for me to do we're going to do a karaoke sing-along to Wicked as I make a Wicked themed wreath. I just have to figure out what day I'm doing that on, but I'm probably going to do that over on TikTok, but I will make sure to promote it and put it on my post so you guys can know ahead of time. And I can give you a link to go over to TikTok. TikTok is a harmless app. Don't believe all the stuff you've heard from the government about, oh, the Chinese, blah, blah, blah. The Chinese wanted to steal our information. I'm sure they've already got it. Never had anything bad happen. Nothing's been stolen from me. The worst thing I think if people have had happen is people sometimes will get their account stolen. That happened to my friend Lindsay, and it's very, very sad and upsetting. Oh, I should have. You know what? I'm going to go flat. I'm going to go straight on this one. All right, so here we're going to put in this pink. All right. And then we're just going to loop this one down. All right. Now this one is kind of like, it's like a 4.5. Because we're going to have these, we're going to make these fat loops, okay? We're going to make them chunky loops. So they're not going to be so flat once we get them in there. All right. And now a little bit of this. Our friend, Black Vines. All right. And then that one's just going to cut on an angle. There we go. And then we're going to do the last one. Again, if you can do this by hand. You don't have to be holding this. It's just, I can't do it. Okay, so I'm going to go grab another black chenille stem. And I have another zip tie here. So I'm going to grab all this. All right. Bringing it up. Oh, that's so heavy. Putting that pipe cleaner behind there. Wrapping the zip tie all around. I tell you, without zip ties, I don't think I could live my life. I use it on so many things. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to hold this. So now we're going to fluff these out. So you see they're kind of flat. We're going to kind of make them a little bit wider, a little bit juicier. Now that one's going to be in the middle. Okay, kind of playing around with what we can get here. Kind of really trying to pull these to the sides. So I'm going to move all this stuff. Let's get this attached on there, and then we can move stuff around. Sorry, I knocked into you guys. Oh, no, I'm knocking stuff over. Oh, my gosh. Linda, what are you doing? Hold on. Hold on. Sprite break. Why am I not drinking my usual Diet Coke? Because I upped my dosage of Mounjaro, and I feel incredibly sick. So that's why I also decided to do a smaller swag, because I don't feel well. All right, so now we're going to put this on here. I'm going to try to put this down toward the bottom, because if I put it up too high, we don't want to cover that. We don't want to cover that. We don't want to cover that. Oh, but if I can just kind of cover the bottom where they've got the pipe cleaner on there. So that takes me literally down to the very, very bottom of this swag. We are down low here, guys. I'm going to have to attach this right above the orange ruffle that we had added in last. Okay, I'm going to move that ruffle to the side. We can kind of go a little sideways with some of this, so we don't have to cover too much. I could always move the sign up if I really wanted to, but I don't think I need to. All right. So if you look on the back, I literally just straddled the swag. Now there's a lot left here, so I'm going to trim this even. Okay. But I'm just going to tuck this right back around. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to spread out the tails on the bottom. That's kind of what really makes the difference here. Spreading out the tails. Bring those over. And this can go a little bit on an angle, okay? I'm not trying to make it. There's already enough going straight up and down, so I'm going to put this kind of off on a little bit of an angle. And then spread out, especially getting the two orange and black ones away from each other. All right, so this is what we have for right now. Now we're going to start adding in some of our goodies. I have some black leaves. I have some 60919. I've got my glue gun here at the ready. Okay, so these, I think I got these from Craft Outlet. Okay. Oh, the garbage. Boy, no matter how many times I take that garbage can out, it just keeps getting filled. But I recycle as much as I absolutely can. I reuse the cardboard tubes from the mesh for lots of things, for shipping. Okay. I'm going to snip this. Right here. I'm going to keep 3 pieces together, I think. Yeah. I could separate them all out, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to snip it. So this is the back. I got 3 pieces on the top, 3 pieces on the bottom. And we're just going to glue these in there. All right. Here we go. At some point, I think I'm going to I might do that now. I'm going to move you guys back, and I'm going to put this on my wreath easel so that you guys can see, now that we've got it kind of set up, what it's going to look like when we start getting everything into here. So let me put that on the hanger. Okay, and I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to move you guys back. Make sure you guys can get a good angle still. Sorry, I'm poking my head around. I'm going to angle this down. And I'm sorry that I have not really been able to deal with the comments very well. Here we go. Okay. Bring that over here. Okay, now you're going to look at the back of my head again. I'm so sorry. There we go. All right, so here is where we're at right now. So I'm going to start putting in some of these goodies. So I'm literally just going to add it on with the glue gun. Most people use a glue pot, but I'm deathly afraid of mine. Ouch. Oh, I just got glue all over my hand. I was like, no wonder that kind of hurt a little bit. Yeah, it's because I was burning myself. Okay, and I'm going to kind of separate this out so I can kind of see a little leaf coming through there, but then some of the top there. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing, kind of go in the top here. I'm adding glue. So I'm trying to add it, not so much onto the mesh, but the parts, kind of like if you can get it where it's around the little branches, that's good too. Okay, see how I kind of did that? You can also, if like these are longer branches, I just wrapped it around the bottom of the stem here to add a little bit extra in there. And then I can go back in and hit it with some extra glue, especially like right on top of there, so that it can kind of adhere to, maybe like, I don't want it to really attach to the ribbon too much, but if the mesh and everything that's around there, it'll attach to that. So that'll be awesome. Okay, so I did, that was one. Okay. Now I'm going to separate these out in groups of 2, because I did groups of 3 up at the top. Now I'm doing groups of 2 here. So I'm leaving 2. So, because there's 6 of them on here. Ugh. Here we go. Okay. And save these pieces. You have no idea what you're going to use these for. There's going to be lots of things you can use those for. So I'm going to save them all. All right. Sorry, I didn't realize my head was right in front of you guys. All right. I'm going to cut this also into groups of 2. But this just gives it a little nice background. The 60919 that we're going to be adding, it's a mixed greenery bush. It is all of our favorites. I think communally we can all agree it's our favorite mixed greenery bush. But this is going to add like a nice backdrop for the rest of that. All right. Here we go. And I'm excited I get to go to Craig Bachman this week to pick up my order. I ordered a whole case of bead grass back in like February, and it finally came in. So that will be exciting because those are very popular, especially I think for fall. All right, so now we have all these. I've got 6 sets of 2, okay? So I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to try to start, I'm going to do the bottoms, and then I can kind of figure out what I got for the rest of it. But like I'm trying to figure out where's a good spot for this. I kind of actually want to bend it that way. There we go. So I've got the longer at the top, at the bottom. All right, here we go. Adding in my glue onto my stem. I'm trying to go up in here. I'm going to sit down for this. Like, why am I bending over? I got a good chair right in front of me. All right. I don't like where that went. I'm going to do this. I'm going to wrap a little bit of that branch around it just to give it some extra stability. And now I'm going to go back and hit it with some glue. Just because there's not a whole lot back here that it's holding on to because it's so low. And now I need more glue. All right. Okay. Do a similar thing. But I'm trying to move this over. I want the longer one to be down and the shorter one to be up. Okay. Now this one does not have as long of a stem, so this might be a little bit trickier to get in there, but that's all right. There we go. Add some more glue. That is adhering now to the mesh, which is exactly what I want. Okay. 1, 2, and 3, 4. I don't even know if I need the 60919. Maybe a little bits here and there, but see, this is the fun part. We get to glue everything in there. It's gonna be so fun to see how this all kind of turns out at the end. All right. Wrap a branch around for stability. Perfect. All right, and then last one. See where I want. I'm gonna I'm kind of just doing a little dry fit here. See where I want it to go. All right, I am actually gonna I just wrapped it in there, and now I'm going to go hit it with glue. Because the problem that I have is when I try to, I glue it and then I go in and wrap it, I end up burning myself badly. Like it's not a, oh, she got a little burn, huh? No, like I do major damage. I don't want to do that. All right, so now we're going to come to this side. I got 2 more to do. Okay. There. This might actually be easier to get it all on there with the glue pot, but I just kind of smeared around with the tip of the glue gun, and it works. All right, and I'm just gonna wrap that little thing around there. There we go. Oh, get them in there. Get them in there. There we go. Okay. Yeah, wrap it around a little extra. Because we're not going to see it anyway, because we're going to put in some roses. It's going to be so pretty. All right, this one. There we go. I like that one. Get that in there nice and good. Add some more glue. Okay, so that is it for the black branches part. So this is what we have right now. Okay, now this is the 60919 mixed greenery bush. It comes in 3 pieces. You can see that there's 3, and literally you can just kind of pull it down, or you can just trim the paper just a little bit and then it'll come right off. But it's in 3 sections. So what we want to do, first of all, is I like to cut them even. Okay. But you don't want to just put it in there like that. We want to fluff these things out, so that we want to make sure it takes up as much real estate as possible. Okay, you see how that looks? Big difference, right? Fluff this one out. I did get this at Craft Outlet. They did have it last time I checked, which I think was last week, and it was a very reasonable price as well, but it goes very quickly, so they may not have any more left by now. I don't know. I didn't buy it all. I wanted to, but I didn't buy it all. Okay, let me check my live chat real quick. I'm sorry I've not been answering any questions. I'm sorry about that. Deb Carol. Hey, Deb, I got to message you about I was talking to Liz kind of like just about like what we're going to do, like if we're going to, have little costumes or something for the different events at Wreath Makers Live. Here we go. The theme is Back to the Future. All I remember about the big, so I think I definitely want to have a piece like kind of like coming out. Actually, I'm going to use the smaller ones for that. Pieces of that kind of coming out from like, kind of like by the bottom of the sign. Extra little wrap around there. There we go. It's kind of just bring a little touches of pink. Not a lot, but just enough. Little light touches. I do want to have kind of one at on the other side back here too. So I'm going to go probably try to put it more in there. Yeah. All right. I always like to do a dry fit so I know exactly where it's going to go. That decreases the chance that my glue is going to get on some other stuff, because I don't want my glue getting on other stuff. I want my glue staying on the design and not getting on my ribbons. There's nothing worse than making a beautiful bow and then all of a sudden you glom on a bunch of glue by accident. I don't like that I can see that. Let me roll that in a little bit. There, that's better. That's better. That's better. That's better. Okay. Kind of bring this up a little bit and spread it down. All right. I do have another set of this. So I'm trying to figure out where's the next part that I'm going to want to go. And I think probably like right in here. Yep. That's where I'm going to go. And then we'll do the same thing with the other piece of 60919. I think I actually got a really good price on it at Craft Outlet. All right, here's the other one. Oops, let's clean up a little bit here first. Let's clean some of this up. Here we go. All right. They also have this in, there's like an orange with the black. I did find it somewhere too where it has orange with a little purple in there as well. So that was cool. I liked that. Okay, I'm gonna snip this one off right here. And then they have black and white. I'm going to be doing a very large light up jack-o'-lantern in a black and white theme, and that's going to be perfect for that. Okay, so these little things here at the top, the little twig things, sometimes I'll just curl them around my finger. Now here, I'm actually going to go right in there. Let me see if I can get another twisty dude. Put it right in there. All right. Why is it not? What's it hitting? It's hitting something. There we go. There we go. All right. Spreading this out. So I got two more pieces. I'm trying to figure out where I want these to go. And I might put like kind of like one up at the top and then maybe one down toward the bottom. But I'm just worried if I do that, that we're going to kind of lose some of it. I already got a lot down there. So I think we're going to take both of these up to the top. They're both going to go to the top. Okay, so I'm going to trim so that they're even. Right. Okay, now we are going to spread these out. I want to kind of try to go in up at the top here again. But maybe more like top, okay? All right. So careful around the Farrisilk. Yeah. Ooh, there we go. Sorry, I know you're getting a good view of the back of my head. Now I was going to be able to see it easier. Okay, pull this closer, see better. Now I'm going over here. Wrapping it around the bottom a bit, making sure it gets in there. And adding extra glue for support because okay, got that in there. Now the last thing we are going to look at is potentially I have some curls and I also have some roses, okay? Because we have some small greenery, but I think we need some bigger buds. Now, the one thing on here is I do not want to use the white stuff and I don't want to use the leaves because I'm trying to hide the fact that they're green, okay? So I'm going to try to play up some stuff here on the sides because there's not a lot going on there, so I want to be able to make sure we add some pretty stuff into there. So I'm going to go in. Ugh. Then bend it a little bit. There we go. I like that. Just going to hit that with a little extra glue. All righty. Got some flowers. Now I'm going to put in an orange on the other side. Again, pushing the leaves down, not going to use the green leaves. But if I push them down, here's the thing. I can save all these leaves and use them in something else. All you have to do is add a little dab of glue up at the top of your stem and it'll act like a stopper so they don't come off. And then you can, when you need a little pieces of greenery just to fill in some holes on another project, there you will have it. It pays to hoard things. Oh, that's pretty. Looking good. Let's see where else we want to add some. Let's add another orange somewhere. Let's go up to the top. And go in there. Don't want to go. Don't be stubborn. All right, I'm gonna wrap it around that. Glue that, get that in there. There we go. Just a little hint of orange coming through there, right? All right. Let's do another pink rose. I don't think I'm going to use these little fuzzy curls because I think I've got enough. There's enough going on. We got enough already. Okay. Got a little bit. Go. I'm going to hit it with some extra glue. There we go. Looking nice. I do think I want a hot pink one up top though. So I'm going to cut a long one. I don't want the baby's breath. Now the stem is a little wonky. I'm going to cut off the bottom of that. It's going in a bit of a strange direction. There we go. All right. Couple more green. And then we should be close to being done. I don't want to overdo it, and I don't think I want to put the curls in. I think I'm just going to be good with what we're going to have here. All right. So I'm good with here. Now I got to look at the roses that we're going to do down toward the bottom, and then we'll be done. I'm kind of trying to alternate between, like, some orange and pink. So I'm going to put some orange now down at the bottom on the left-hand side. Let's see where we can kind of go. I'm thinking kind of like, yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. That works. All right. Very pretty. All right, let's get some pink. I did have some lighter pink ones that I ordered from Craft Outlet, and they were pretty too, and they could have gone, but this is like a really more vibrant pink, so I decided to go that route. Yeah, I like it down there. I don't have to overdo it on the roses either. Is it not going in? There it goes. I was like, I know the hole was there. I just put it in there a minute ago. I kind of feel like it still needs a little something, something. Just going to play with this for a second. We'll see. Just going to play. We'll see. I'm not going to use all these. But okay. I answered my own question, and that question is, am I going to use it? And the answer is yes. Where did it go? I just had the hole. Where is it going? Sure, it grabs hold of. Ooh, it got everything, including my hand. Ooh, that hurt. That hurt. Okay. So now a little up there. I could do like a little here, maybe. I got a lot up there already. I don't think I really need that. I think I kind of want to bring some stuff up into here. So now we're going to go down in here. Wrapping that paper all around. Okay. All right, so then I'm going to do the same, but this time I got a pink. So let's figure out where we're going to put the pink. Ugh. Let's get this off of here. Sometimes I have a design in my head, and then I go to design it, and it goes in a completely different direction. And that would be kind of today. Okay, I'm going to cut it off. So I had the 2 at the top and then the 3 at the bottom. I've actually bought these ones because I was going to use them decorating some pumpkins. But I still have those. I can use more. To get the label off. Well, that's not going to come off. Okay, so I'm trying to think where I'm going to stick this now. really wish I could pull this tighter. I'm not too happy with the pink, the bow. I want to make it a little tighter. No, that's as tight as it's gonna go. All right, so we're gonna see, we got a little there, got a little bit up here. I've got these. I'm kind of thinking maybe something like here, just because I'm trying to bring this up a little bit. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't want to have these furry things just at the bottom. Okay, making sure I add lots of glue in there so that this stays. All right, and the cool thing about these is too, I can pull them down. All right, and I got my other last little two. Where are we gonna put these? I think I got some over here, got some over there. Could kind of go down here a little bit, but I don't know. I wonder if I even need these at all. Because I got orange. Yeah, maybe down in here. Question is, yep, okay, I see exactly where I can put it in. I know the exact spot it's gonna go. Don't have anything to really wrap around it, but it'll go. Because it's gonna be glued to everything that's around it, including the mesh. Okay, I think. Ew. Oh my gosh. Glue all over my nails, guys. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, got a little bit on the ribbon. That's okay. There it comes right off. If you get glue on your ribbon, don't wipe it off right away. Let it sit. Let it sit, and then once it dries, you can kind of start peeling it off. There we go. Just push the bow up a little bit, but I still want it to come out because we don't want to hide where it says spooky season. We still want to see the pumpkin. We still want to see that, but we don't necessarily need to see the absolute bottom of the sign. Okay. I think I'm going to call this baby done. Let's do a final fluff of the bow because we did go up here and I was messing around and knocking into stuff. All right, let me get this out of the way. You guys can get a nice, good view of what she looks like. Okay, so this is our spooky swag. This was made on a 22-inch pink swag. You can find swags like this at places like Craft Outlet, check Deco Exchange, all of your good online wreath shops. You're not gonna be able to find pink swags like this at, like, you know, Hobby Lobby. I don't think Michael's carries that. So here's our baby. I'm gonna bring her closer to you so you can kind of see the different elements in there. All right, so that's how wide it is. All right. We got our beautiful Farrisilk ribbon in there. Again, this came from Babam Reeds. Gorgeous, gorgeous ribbon. This is, the Ghost is, you can get a Craft Outlet. The same with this, I think it's called Orange Crystal Shine. Same with the pink glitter. All these other ones came from places like Craft Outlet. So did the 60919 in the black and pink and the black leaves. And then these furry picks, I believe I got there as well. So I'm going to have this listed at sweetariadecor.com. That's where I've got my shop. That's going to take you right to Etsy. I'm going to have this tutorial backed up onto YouTube as well. My YouTube channel is at Sweet Aria Decor because everything gets kicked off of here after 30 days. Can you believe it? That's not a lot of time. And I go live every Wednesday nights as well at 7 p.m. Central. You can find me right here. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can follow me all over social media, and you can shop my store at sweetariadecor.com.